Scorpio, stop scrolling. Take a breath. What's unfolding between November 12th and 16th isn't just another week. It's a spiritual confrontation written into your soul's blueprint long before you were born. You didn't find this message by accident. It found you. Somewhere in the quiet corners of the universe, a signal pulsed. The time has come. For months, your spirit has felt the pressure rising. The air around you has grown heavier, almost electric, like the moments before a storm breaks. You've been feeling restless, questioning everything, your purpose, your connections, even your own reflection. That's because you're standing at the threshold of your final karmic battle, the one that will determine what version of you walks into 2026. This isn't punishment, it's initiation. The universe isn't testing you to break you, it's refining you, burning away what no longer belongs so that only truth remains. But make no mistake, the flames will be real. This is not for the faint-hearted, and it's certainly not for the half-awake. What you're about to hear, Scorpio, is not a prophecy carved in stone, but a mirror, a reflection of a potential timeline, a story whispered through the ether for those who are ready to listen. Take what resonates with your soul, and leave what doesn't. This is an invitation to explore your own transformation, not a prediction of doom. Every word here is a symbolic journey, a thought experiment for your awakening. Now, let's step into the fire. The first winds of this karmic storm begin around November 12th, when Mercury retrograde conjoins Mars under your sign's shadow. This cosmic meeting doesn't whisper, it roars. Expect conversations that cut like swords, truths that can't be unspoken, and emotions that demand to be felt. This is the spark that lights your battlefield. Your first test arrives swiftly. It comes wearing a familiar face. It may be someone from your past, a lover, a friend, or a figure whose absence still lingers in your chest. They reappear suddenly, innocently, maybe with a message that reads, "Hey, how have you been?" But you'll feel it in your gut, the shift, the magnetic pull, the temptation to open a door you had finally closed. Don't mistake this encounter for coincidence. It's not nostalgia, it's karma. The universe is checking if the wounds you once bandaged have truly healed, or if you've just learned to ignore their ache. This person doesn't return to comfort you. They return to test your alignment. Your heart will tremble. The memories will flood in, the warmth, the laughter, the old rhythm that once felt like home. But Scorpio, you must remember, growth attracts ghosts. Every time your vibration rises, your past will knock to see if you'll answer. This is the universe asking, are you serious this time? The test is not about love or forgiveness. It's about identity. Who are you now compared to who you were when that connection began? If you open that door, will it bring healing, or will it pull you backward into cycles you've already broken? The old version of you might crave closure. The evolved version doesn't need it, it has peace. If you respond with honesty and boundaries instead of curiosity and longing, you'll feel a subtle energy shift. It won't be dramatic. It'll be quiet, like a lock turning inside your timeline. That's the universe rearranging itself around your new vibration. But if you let the past seduce you, if you chase what's already burned, you risk freezing your evolution. The door will close again, but next time it won't open until fate decides you're ready to face it all over again. This is test 1, the return of the familiar. Then comes the second wave, the most deceptive one. Around November 14th, silence arrives. The texts slow down. The excitement fades. The world feels distant, muted, hollow. You might wake up one morning and feel like you're floating outside your own life, disconnected from everyone and everything. Scorpio, that's not loneliness. That's spiritual isolation. You're not being abandoned, you're being purified. The universe knows you learn best in solitude, when the noise fades and the shadows have space to speak. During these days, your emotions might feel raw and unfiltered. Tears may come for no reason. Your body may ache, not from exhaustion but from energetic release. You may question your worth, your path, even your faith. This is not collapse, it's initiation. You're not being punished. You're being stripped of the illusions that kept you safe but small. Don't rush to fill the silence. Don't drown it with distractions or numb it with noise. Sit with it. Light a candle. Write, pray. Let the quiet unravel what your mind tried to control. This phase is the cocoon, the sacred in-between where your soul rewires itself. You'll know you're moving through this test correctly when you start to feel something unexpected. Peace without reason. That's your higher self whispering, "You're safe in the dark. You're becoming." This is test 2, the silence of transformation. But there's a deeper layer within this silence, a hidden teaching. Many will interpret the stillness as punishment, but for Scorpio, silence is revelation. It's in that heavy pause that your intuition sharpens. You'll start noticing symbols in strange places, a feather on the street, a song that plays at just the right time, a number repeating itself on the clock. These are not coincidences. They're signposts. The veil between worlds grows thinner this week. You might dream of people long gone, or wake up with memories that feel ancient, like they don't even belong to this lifetime. Don't dismiss them. These flashes are fragments of your soul's record surfacing, calling you to reclaim wisdom you forgot you had. If you allow the silence to hold you instead of fighting it, it becomes your teacher. You'll hear what you once couldn't. Your inner guidance, the voice that isn't afraid of endings, because it remembers what rebirth feels like. And this is where your power crystallizes. You realize that peace isn't found when the storm stops. It's found when you learn to stand still within it. But then, just as the stillness begins to settle, the third test strikes. The most subtle, the most dangerous, the most defining. Between November 15th and 16th, temptation takes form. It won't look like evil or chaos. It will look like opportunity. A job, a proposal, a sudden chance to gain something you've long desired, but it will come with fine print, written in invisible ink. This is the test of integrity. Something or someone will appear that appeals directly to your shadow, the part of you that still craves validation, control, or revenge. It might offer quick success, instant satisfaction, or the illusion of power, but deep down you'll feel the unease. The quiet voice that says, this isn't aligned. The universe will be watching, not your words, not your emotions, but your choices. True power isn't loud, it's restraint. True mastery isn't about proving others wrong. It's about staying centered when every nerve screams for reaction. Scorpio, this is where your evolution is measured. When the world provokes you, when someone lies or betrays you, when the old wounds start to burn, you'll be tempted to fight fire with fire. But that's the trap. The moment you retaliate, you step back into the vibration you've already outgrown. You don't need to win the argument. You need to win your alignment. When you feel the heat rise in your chest, breathe. Feel your pulse. Remember, the phoenix never fights the ashes, it rises above them. If you hold your composure, if you choose clarity over chaos, something extraordinary happens. The energy around you begins to realign. What once resisted you begins to open. Doors that were locked start to creak. You'll feel it. Like the weight you've carried for years suddenly dissolves into light, and then quietly your destiny begins to shift. But here's the secret the universe rarely reveals. The third test isn't just about integrity, it's about embodiment. It's one thing to know your worth, it's another to live it. This test will demand that you finally walk your talk. You might be asked to turn down something that looks perfect on the outside, but feels wrong on the inside. You might need to walk away from someone who says all the right things, but vibrates all the wrong energy. You might have to release a plan, a deal, or a promise you once prayed for, because you finally realize it no longer fits the frequency of who you've become. This moment will hurt, yes. Letting go always does, but it will also set you free in a way that no victory ever could. Because when you choose truth over temptation, you declare to the universe, I am ready for what's real. And the moment you do, the illusion collapses. The masks fall away. What's meant for you, what's truly yours, will rise from the ashes to meet you. That's how karmic loops end, not with explosions, but with quiet acts of alignment. These three tests, the return, the silence, and the temptation, are not punishments. They are gateways. They are the universe's way of ensuring that when abundance arrives, you are strong enough to hold it. Every spiritual warrior faces this moment, the moment where everything you love, fear, and desire collides in a single week. And yet that collision is not chaos, it's creation. Scorpio, between November 12th and 16th, your spirit will be reforged in cosmic fire. Mercury's retrograde energy colliding with Mars in your sign is not random. It's a mirror showing you the parts of yourself that still need release. Your dreams might become more vivid. Symbols will appear, numbers, feathers, flickering lights. You may wake at 3:33 or 4:44 and feel an unseen presence. Don't fear it. The veil is thin during this alignment, and your ancestors, your guides, your higher self are all near. They aren't warning you of doom. They're cheering for your awakening. Remember, Scorpio, you are ruled by Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth. No sign transforms like you do. You were never meant to stay still. You are evolution incarnate, walking proof that from ruin can rise radiance. The difference this time is that your transformation won't be emotional, it will be energetic. You're not just changing your habits, you're changing your frequency. The universe no longer responds to your words, it responds to your vibration. So when you find yourself in the middle of this storm, whisper these truths. I am the calm inside the fire. I do not chase what I've already outgrown. I trust divine timing more than instant gratification, because that's what this week is asking of you, not to fix, but to trust. Not to fight, but to flow. Not to survive, but to ascend. By the time November 17th dawns, you'll look around and realize that nothing outside of you has truly changed, yet everything feels different. You'll walk with a quieter strength, a sharper intuition, and an unshakable peace. The people who once triggered you will no longer hold power. The dreams that once scared you will now call to you like an open sky. You will not just have passed your tests, you will have rewritten your fate. The energy that once created obstacles will now begin working for you. Relationships will stabilize, money will begin to flow, creative visions will spark like lightning. And that's not magic, it's resonance. You've become an energetic match for what you've been praying for. Because you didn't run from the lessons, you lived them. And Scorpio, when you do that, the universe doesn't just reward you, it bows to you. You might feel exhausted, but that's the beautiful paradox of awakening. You lose everything that was false so you can gain everything that's true. So breathe. Slow down, you are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time, standing at the gate of a brand new destiny. Say it now, softly but with conviction. I pass my tests. I protect my energy. I rise as the phoenix, because you will. You always do. This week, between November 12th and 16th, the universe isn't asking you to fight harder. It's asking you to surrender wiser. Your destiny isn't waiting in the chaos. It's waiting in your calm. And once you master that, Scorpio, you become unstoppable. Your final karmic battle has begun, not to destroy you, but to crown you. And the universe is watching in awe as you walk through the fire, not as the wounded one you once were, but as the warrior you were always meant to be.